Qatar, a small country jutting out from the Arabian Peninsula, right next door to Saudi Arabia. Modern, luxurious, and one of the richest countries in the world per capita. It's also a little bit strange in parts.
What a way to travel to Mall this is.
It gained global recognition as host of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. But there's got to be more to it than that. Let's find out what Qatar and its capital city Doha are all about. Now, Doha is a city by the sea. So what better way to get started, to get a feel for this place than to walk down the Corniche? See the date trees on the pathways here? The dates bagged up. And the view right here from by the Museum of Islamic Art is just spectacular. You got the water of the bay in the foreground here, the lovely old dhow boats, and then in the background the West Bay skyscrapers. Iconic, iconic Doha. Now this is also from the year 2022, but in this case, a little bit before the World Cup. So, Flag Plaza here is an art installation of, I believe, 119 flags. And this is all from countries that have a diplomatic mission in Qatar. There's also the flags of the European Union, the United Nations, and the Gulf Cooperation Council. It's kind of cool to see. When I first saw it, I thought this surely must be related to the World Cup, but of course there's too many flags there. So yeah, same time, but holds a different story. You come to a slightly more open area in the middle, and then right in the middle of it all, the Qatari flag. You can't see the flags so well at the moment because it's a very calm day, there's not much wind. Ah, and now I say it, a nice breeze comes about. Wow, and that makes all the difference. This should be around by the entranceway of Souq Waqif, the main market and souk of this central area here. Now this is quite charming. This really feels much more like an old city neighborhood. Oh wow. Interesting place though. It looks like there's a little market area inside here. Let's go and take a look inside. Wow, it's actually air conditioned in here. You just walk into this inside area and it's so lovely and cool all of a sudden. Oh, just what I need. Wow, and it continues around the corner here. There's really quite a lot to this. I just can't believe the cool as well. It feels like being completely inside an aircon. Oh, I see myself getting lost in here. Okay, just come out of an exit there. The market's still carrying on the street just a little bit. Smell food around this part. Oh, there is as well. Not proper dinner food, but certainly sweet food, nuts and that sort of thing. Oh wow. Now there's something really special about here as well. Now falcons are really prized and expensive birds here. They're actually the national bird of Qatar. And part of Souq Waqif is actually dedicated as a falcon souk. And on top of that, there's a falcon hospital. Crazy, right? Let's go take a look. There we go, falcon souk. How cool is that? So supposedly the birds themselves are on sale here, of course, but then there's also all the equipment to support falconry. Supposedly it's a very common thing for a Qatari person to own a falcon. And so coming out into this square of the souk here, I'm seeing a lot of the shops already that sell the falconry supplies, but I'm not actually seeing any of the falcons yet. Let's carry on having a look around. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. This man has just put some falcons out on the square. I'm just walking down this way. This modern building is the Falcon Hospital. Let's go see if I'm actually allowed to take a look in here. I really don't know.
It looks like I am indeed okay to come in here. There's actually a little museum in the entranceway to the hospital here. Now this is pretty interesting to see. This is actually one of the shops that sells the falcons.
I see the bigger birds on display back here, the smaller birds at the front here. It's just an incredible different side. I've never seen anything like this in my life before.
It's amazing to see. It's so different. I've never seen falcons for sale. There's a thing here in Qatar. Thank you.
That is really awesome. If I have to pick one site in Qatar that is just so far away from what I know, it's this. Never seen anything like that. Absolutely bizarre, but so cool. And there we go, just as expected, the sun goes down enough and the people come out. There's quite some life around here now. Okay, here we go. It's about time for something else to eat, and this place is on my list. Let's go check it out. This is a lovely spot here. Sat in this kind of restaurant-focused area of the Souq, this outside section. Now, it's really cooled down a bit. It's still hot, don't get me wrong, but cooled down compared with how it was. Not so clammy in the air anymore. But it's nice being able to see the people going past, the shops around here, the restaurants, and of course just some nice food. But it is a very, very strange place. It doesn't quite feel real. It feels kind of like a theme park, like kind of Disneyland, that sort of thing. New, trying to look old, if you know what I mean. See if I can do this gracefully, I doubt it. Right, there we go. Oh, lovely. So I understand on the way out there that that was actually a Bahrainian style kebab, so a little sneak preview of what I'm going to go to next. Now that right there is the best view around here. Let's go.
What a fantastic way to end the day. Sat on this amazing rooftop, great views over the city, the West Bay skyscrapers in the background, but there's going to be a lot more to explore tomorrow.
Okay, it's a new day and it's time to explore some different parts of this city. The trouble is, it's hard to be outside for too long. The sun is so hot, you'll get burnt so quickly. So I'm taking a new approach today. I'm going to dive into the metro system. That way I can stay below ground, stay cool and still see the sights. But to start off with, on the way to the metro, we're going to go to Qatar's National Museum. Let's go. So this pretty cool building right here is the Qatar National Museum. It's actually inspired by a desert rose crystal that are found in Qatar, one of these things. And it really does look cool, it's so distinctive. Wow, would you look at that? That is awesome. So unique. Well, they've done this really, really nicely with these big screens everywhere you look, just telling the stories in a really engaging way. I like this. That's pretty cool, projecting the video onto still the desert rose style shapes. I just came out of the indoor bit of the museum. It's great in there, it really tells the story in an interesting way, so dynamic. But you come out to the old palace from 1906, beautifully renovated, showing this lovely contrast between the old and the new. It's a fantastic place, it's well worth a visit. When you think of Qatar, you think of the modern, you think of oil, you don't think of all this history. And this museum, it really puts it all into context, it really tells the story well. I never would have known this, but you can actually go in and up one of these palace buildings. I saw a couple of guys on the roof, so wandered in. There's nothing obvious to point it out, but then there's staircases inside and it's, well, magnificently renovated. But let's get up to the top. I bet we'll get a great view from up there. And there we go, I wasn't wrong. This is a fantastic view. See all the modern buildings there. The museum itself, its lovely desert rose pattern. See out to the football stadium from here. Plane landing at the airport. Obviously looking out over the palace itself. And then over here, the West Bay skyline in the distance. Flag Plaza over there. That's fantastic, you've got a view of everything up here. Feeling a bit like an airport so far. Very, very nice cool air conditioning. Well needed. Well, I'm really quite impressed with Qatar's metro system. That was super efficient, super quick. Now this is going to be a very strange one. I'm right at the end of the metro line to the Villaggio Mall. This will be absolutely bizarre, I can't wait. Okay, as soon as I walk in, this place is showing the weirdness that it's known for. Look at this is ridiculous. So this mall, bizarrely enough, is just a really strange fake take on Venice. It's absolutely bizarre. I've never seen anything like it. It's so fake, it's so ridiculous, but it's also so much fun. Oh wow. Okay, this just gets weirder and weirder. It's electric. This definitely wins the prize for the most bizarre experience in Doha. And it's all just a normal mall at the side, just normal kind of high street shops, the shops you see everywhere all over the world.
Yeah, I don't know what I expected when I came to this mall. I guess I expected something like this, but at the same time, it doesn't prepare you for what this is. It doesn't prepare you for the weirdness.
That was absolutely epic. Got to be done. Well worth the €5 anytime. It's absolutely huge. You go past the canals and there's all this street down there, another street this way. This is definitely the more upscale part of the mall. It's kind of changed again. It looks very, very grand, as always, in a fake way, of course. But here you've got all the big expensive names and brands. Wow, and it just goes on even further. This is crazy. What on earth is this place? I've never ever seen anything like this in my life. And there was me wondering where all the Qatari people were. This is where they are, in the really fancy side of the mall. Okay, and what is this ahead, this side? Oh, no way, seriously? An ice rink? Just when you think you've seen everything there is to see here, it hits you with that. This just never fails to amaze. Oh, okay, now there's a theme park ahead. An indoor theme park. Would you look at this? There's a little roller coaster in there, there's a big wheel, there's a log flume. This is all inside the mall. That was absolutely awesome exploring that place. I could probably do it for hours and still discover new things. But time is short, the sun's going to go down, so let's head on somewhere and make the most of the sunset.
So yesterday, I was sat on that incredible rooftop, looking out over West Bay, and I was thinking, this evening, I want to be in West Bay. So I've come out here on the metro. I'm going to try and find a boat, get out on the water, see this incredible skyline, these amazing skyscrapers, hopefully a beautiful sunset. And I really want to see these when the sun goes down, see all the bright lights.
All right, there we go. That's the waterfront. Now, there's a pretty big road here in the way, so that's not exactly easy to cross. You've got to have a crossing pretty much, or otherwise you're taking your life in your hands. To say that cars are a thing here is kind of a gross understatement. But at least things have developed. I can actually walk around. Sometimes it's not so easy, but you can always do it. Or at least I've yet to find anywhere where I can't. And what a view along here. These incredible modern shiny buildings. Oh, and then this way we're coming to the weird gherkin building. And isn't that most unusual? It kind of is reminiscent of the gherkin in London if that was transported to the Middle East with all these lovely patterns around it. Very unique, but at the same time slightly familiar. I'm going to try and brave the traffic and go over to by the waterfront. It'd be a shame not to, right? Closest I've found to a crossing. Not a real crossing at all, but the traffic's stopping. Okay, here we go. Not the best crossing these streets, but wow, the view's going to be worth it, I think, particularly with sundown coming. All right, made it, and the view is well worth it already. Okay, so I just made an impromptu deal with a dowman to take me out on the water. It'd be nice just to see the sundown by these beautiful skyscrapers. I've been wanting to do this. Okay. Nice big boat. Way too big just for me. Wow. Look at that, that's beautiful. This boat is absolutely stunning. What a way to see Doha. There's really something about Doha here that doesn't seem quite real. Whether it's this modern West Bay with the skyscrapers, or whether it's the kind of new-seeming old town. At the same time, it is nice, particularly when the sun has gone down enough and you can almost enjoy the temperatures. It's unbelievably calm and nice out on the water after that big road with so much traffic here. Now, seeing the last moments of the sun out here, the slight cool breeze I'm getting off the water, beautiful. And those buildings should look spectacular when the sun goes down fully. And now the boat lights have come on, including disco lights. And I've been looking at these very buildings from over the river. You see them small, but you still can't help staring at them because it's really pretty with all the lights. But it's just so different seeing them closer here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, thank you. That was really awesome, perfectly timed. So, just up on the West Bay, by the Costa Coffee here, that's where you find these guys. And what an experience, absolutely brilliant. Okay, let's get back over the other side the best way I know how. The metro. And cool down a bit in the process. It's been awesome coming here though. Okay, so it's another new day, and while I was talking to some folks last night, I found out about something super interesting just outside of Doha. It's a huge museum set up by one of Qatar's most successful businessmen. So, first thing this morning, I've ordered an Uber, and we're going to go there right now. Let's go check it out. So this impressive building that you find me at is the Sheikh Faisal Museum. But who's Sheikh Faisal? Well, Sheikh Faisal, at the age of 16, started off selling car parts. In the 60s, he started a small trading company in Doha. And over the decades, he built this into one of Qatar's leading industry groups. He's now a billionaire. Wow, the grounds to this place are absolutely insane. This is huge. Quite a way out of town. And you can see why. Like some huge castle in the desert with this strange leaning tower. Wow. So in his lifetime, Sheikh Faisal has been a passionate collector of vehicles, arts, carpets, weapons, all sorts of things. And in 1998, he opened this museum showcasing it all. It's got an incredible collection of supposedly 15,000 exhibits. That's incredible already. This first huge hall just dedicated to weaponry. They've got arrowheads there, dating back to the Crusades. Such history, such an incredible collection. You step into another room and it's almost like every room is more grand than the last. This is absolutely huge. These amazing old cars. Looks mostly American, I think. And there is the Sheikh himself behind, ever present, looking down with a falcon. There's some animals in the back of these ones. Now that was really, really awesome. It's an incredible collection in there. There's all the stuff you expect to see, the cars, the rugs, the art, but then there's so much more. From the obvious to the downright bizarre. But it's done so well. It is a bit of a hodgepodge in parts, but still it fascinates you as you walk through. My jaw just dropped when I walked from room to room. It's just incredible in there. And fair play, he's collected a lot over his lifetime, but he puts it in his museum so everyone can see. And that's kind of nice. It is well worth a trip out of Doha to come here. Really great experience. And I didn't even get to see it all. The actual car room was closed down at the moment. Supposedly, he's got a collection of about 600 cars. Absolutely incredible. Anyway, time to head on. I'm going to get another Uber and I'm going to head up right to the north of the city, the north of the metro line. So that Uber took me up to the north of the city to an area called Lusail, and this is the Lusail Stadium. Now this is really a piece of World Cup history for Qatar. This is the biggest of the World Cup stadiums, and this one hosted 10 matches including the final. Now, it's all a bit closed up at the moment. I can't get too close, and the stadium itself is under maintenance, so I can't go in or anything like that. But still, it's kind of interesting to see after hearing about the World Cup on the news just a couple of years ago. And this is the Lusail tram network that operates just in this area of the north of the city at the top of the red metro line. I know a tram isn't exactly what you expect to find here in Doha, but it's modern, it's fantastic. It's taking us right past the stadium there. Actually getting closer to the stadium than I managed when I was on foot. There's that strange World Cup ghost character. See a few of those around the city left over from the World Cup. And it looks like we're going back underground. So I guess I'll see you when we get there. There we go, only one metro station down from there, and this is Katara. Wow, would you look at this place? It's all a bit fancy and, dare I say, fake. The building's just a massive wrapped up present. What on earth have I stepped out into here? Well, I got no idea what this big present building is, but the big transformers are pretty cool. So this is Katara Cultural Village, and according to the blurb, this is supposed to be a project to showcase different cultures coming together. It's supposed to be a vision of both the past and the future. But let's see, to me it's all looking a little bit strange. Entrance to what? Only one way to find out, I guess. This is looking like some kind of amphitheatre. Shoes are making a very weird noise on this floor. Okay, yeah, it is. It is some strange modern amphitheatre. Look at that. I know I'm going to regret this in this heat, but I've got to climb up, get the lay of the land. Maybe I can spot something interesting to have a look at. Wow, look at this view. See out to the water there. Round to the top part of West Bay. You can see all the apartment blocks on the man-made Pearl Island. Back to those twin towers that we saw earlier. And the big Christmas bauble. Phew. Back to a little bit of shade here now. That is so much better. There's also a nice bit of cool breeze coming off the sea here. That is just so needed. Wow. What they say about mad dogs and Englishmen? Phew. As it's becoming a fairly regular thing for me here in Doha, I leave there none the wiser, a little more confused, but also slightly amazed. What a place. And there we go, folks. I'm finishing this little adventure here. I'm at a bar called the Belgian Cafe. It's the bar of the Intercontinental Hotel, pretty close by to where I just was. I just hopped one metro stop away, and here we are. Anyway, Doha has impressed me more than I thought it would, to be perfectly honest. There's a lot to do here. I've been constantly amused. There's loads of things to go and see. It's actually quite easy to get around. It's a very easy to travel city. The public transport's been good. You don't have to be completely reliant on cars. You can even walk to an extent. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Cheers, guys.